types of storm tank can the StormBlaster clean? Now, stormwater attenuation tanks come in many shapes and sizes. Cleaning them properly after use is very important to avoid odour pollution. Now, the StormBlaster system has been installed in many different sized tanks across the UK, Ireland and France. But what types of tank are there and which is it suitable for? The first main consideration is whether the tank is open or closed. Now, we can provide systems for cleaning both open tanks and roofed tanks. Roof tanks are actually the easiest to deal with because we don't need to worry too much about positioning StormBlasters. They can be hung from the roof. Normally do this through a downpipe which is mounted through the roof and can be lifted out through a manhole cover so the StormBlaster can be maintained. This is handy if the tank is roofed because then the StormBlaster can be positioned wherever we want in the tank basically. Now, with open tanks, a little more problematic, but to be perfectly honest, most of the StormBlasters we install are in open tanks because most storm tanks are actually open. So these need to be positioned with maintenance in mind, and what we'll tend to do is, because we haven't got a roof, we'll tend to put them on swing arms, and these swing arms will position the StormBlaster out into the tank 2, maybe 3 meters into the tank, and then they can be swung back to the sides for maintenance. Sometimes this means we can't get them in the optimum position for tank cleaning. The optimum position for most tank cleaning applications is to be kind of on the center line of the tank. That way we maximize the jet lengths of the StormBlaster. We can't do that in some wider tanks. We can get them as close as we can with swing arms, and we can design the system to work. Then the next consideration is the size of the tank. Now, if a tank is too large to clean by a single StormBlaster unit, it's not a problem. Now we just simply install multiple units. What we do is we kind of divide the tank up into virtual tanks, which can be seen on this diagram here. And then each StormBlaster is responsible for cleaning its own virtual tank. Now note, there's no tank modifications required here. These tanks are entirely virtual. They're imaginary lines on the drawing. What we'll do is we'll spec in a StormBlaster that can clean each virtual tank well, and then we just divide the big tank into smaller virtual tanks and install multiple StormBlasters. StormBlasters can be run in sequence, so we run them in sequence as we work our way down the gradient, the drain gradient of the tank. That reduces the pump duty. We don't need to have huge pumps running all of them at the same time. When it's finished its cleaning cycle, the next one will start, and then the whole tank will be cleaned. Typically speaking, you want about 1 StormBlaster for every 120 square meters of tank floor there. So normally that means we position them every sort of 10 or 15 meters apart down a tank. If the tank is very, very wide, then there are some restrictions on the horizontal distances we can actually reach with the cleaning jets. On very wide tanks that are over about 10 or 15 meters in width, then what we want to do is probably divide the tank into virtual tanks along the width axis. As you can see in this diagram, we're now putting StormBlasters on each side of the tank, each one responsible for cleaning its area. And again, we just divide the tank down its length as well. And so we end up with some more virtual tanks in there. There is a limit on the width. If the tank is over 15 meters, we probably want to come in from both sides of the tank. You can see this in this diagram here. This was actually an installation we did. So we had 8 StormBlaster units here installed in 8 virtual tanks. I think it's a big 30 by 25 meter tank here. So the shape of the tank can also make some differences in how we specify StormBlaster systems in there. The tanks are normally either rectangular or circular. We have done some odd shaped ones as well. But again, the principle is just exactly the same, whether it is circular or a rectangular tank. The bigger tanks divide the tank into virtual tanks, so they've each got a StormBlaster unit in there that's responsible for cleaning each part of the tank, and then position them either on swing arms in the case of open tanks or on downpipes through the roof on closed tanks. So in this example here, we're seeing a very large 25 meter diameter circular shaped tank, and it's open, so each of these StormBlasters is positioned on a swing arm, and each one's responsible for cleaning each quadrant of the tank. One issue we've come across is when tanks are side by side. Sometimes we get situations where we have multiple tanks that are side by side. This restricts access to the middle tanks in particular. We can't get there. There's no easy way to either put a swing arm in there. Roof tanks, it wouldn't really matter too much, but assuming they're open tanks, there's no easy way to get a swing arm into the center of tanks that are positioned side by side. So sometimes this requires a little bit of creativity. So in this example here, we can see we've got 4 tanks side by side, and for the central tank, we actually decided that it would be good to construct a walkway in there to mount the tank cleaners on, mount the swing arms on. And as you can see here, we've managed to achieve overall coverage. The rest of the tanks, the outer tanks, were serviced via swing arms mounted on the outsides of the tank, but this walkway was required to provide access here. With a little bit of creativity and imagination, even the most complex tanks and difficult tanks layouts can be serviced perfectly well by the StormBlaster system, and we've got a lot of experience in designing systems for even these complex tanks and layouts here. We've got about 120, 130 StormBlasters in service at the moment in the UK, Ireland and France. We're very experienced in sizing in StormBlaster cleaning systems for almost any conceivable storm tank configuration.